Yo, what is good? It is Bo King bringing you guys the full breakdown for the Gorgon raid. Went through all of the bosses, went through everything, tried my best to explain it, break it down at live time so you can see it while it's happening, while I'm doing it. I definitely think this video will help a lot of people run Gorgon more efficiently, get you through those clears, get you those seals, and help get you to late game. Before we go into the raid and start going through all of those bosses, I just wanted to cover a couple things preliminary wise before we go in. There's just a couple good benchmarks you want to hit prerequisite wise before you get in there. The first of which is going to be your trophy. You definitely want to get that major Angry Earth trophy in all three of your houses. You do the best you can, so if you can't get the majors, get the minors. If you can't do minors, do the basics. But anything you can, if you can get 3 of even the lowest tier, you're getting a 9% damage buff, which is even more than a honing stone. So super great. Obviously, if you can get the majors, that is the best, but do what you can for those trophies. Get those in all your houses. That's just a massive buff that you can give yourself in that raid. As far as just your standard buffs, nothing crazy. Your attribute food, if you're doing Intel, Doom the Steam to Baya. If you're doing Dex, the Fried Albenaja. Super cheap. I think they're each like 100 gold on the trading post. Honing Stone, also like 100 gold on the trading post. And then you're going to want an Angry Earth coating and an Angry Earth ward. These are like 20 gold on the trading post. So altogether, I think it's like 250 gold to get all those buffs, and then obviously your mana regen or health regen, whatever you're wanting to run for that. And then for your heart runes, you are going to want to have a couple different ones. The Brutal Vines, very important. You're going to want that for the second boss fight, and for the first and third, I just like running the cannon. So those are going to be the 2 primary heart runes that you're going to want to bring into Gorgon. But yeah, that is going to take care of the prerequisites. If you ever want to check your trophies, a little trick that you can do, you can go to your character, go to your bio, and right here it'll show all of your trophy buffs, so you can go through, see that you have all your majors, whatever it is. If people need you to send screenshots, anything like that, this is where you can see all of your trophy buffs on the home screen. But without further ado, I think we should get on into that Gorgon. Hope you guys enjoyed my house. It's pretty cool in there. But I will catch you guys at that first Gorgon boss, going over everything. And yeah, let's see you in the raid. Peace. Alright, what is good? We are here at the first boss of Gorgon. This is going to be Echidna. Gonna do just a nice walkthrough while we go through the boss and kind of talk about all the abilities, how to do everything. So, first thing, when he jumps down, he'll do a ground smash right after this roar. So, roar, and dodge the smash. That is your first objective. Second objective, get on a pillar. So, those are your 2 things at the very start. If you accomplish that, you are off to a good start. So up on this pillar, not only are you safe from all of the attacks that are down there, but you're also doing more DPS, because the higher up you are, the more DPS you're able to do. What are people... I don't know what's going on down there. We got some people not doing what they're supposed to be, apparently. But anyways, sitting here up on top of our pillar, we are nice and safe from all of these melee attacks and everything like that. So I will just be hanging out up here, cracking DPS. Tail Swipe doesn't hit us because we're up here. And yeah, if you are a ranged player, it definitely kind of lets you play the boss on easy mode if you're just hanging up here on the pillars. So for the crystal phase, once he shoots those out, you will want to take all of these out. They explode and do AoE damage after an allotted amount of time if you don't take them out fast enough. So that's the reason you take those out, so that a bunch of exploding AoE damage doesn't go around that ends up wiping the raid, or something like that. So, gonna get back up on our pillar and continue DPS. These are the rocks. To dodge those, you either just do a normal dodge, or you can get behind one of these pillars. Or just get on top of one of the pillars like me. You don't have to worry. So definitely recommend trying your best to just stay up top here. We're about to break stamina here, so once we get that stam phase, after crystals, we'll be able to do a massive amount of DPS. So, for crystals, as you can see right there, if they land in the pillar, they explode the pillar instantly, and what ends up happening is you will immediately go down without being able to do anything else. So be very careful with that. Crystals are down, so we are going to be looking to break stam right here, which will be a nice burst of DPS here. So I'm on my melee weapon, ready to go, and there is our stam break. And with stam breaks, you want to come here to the back of the spine, and that is where you will crank your DPS and get a bunch of free damage in there. So again, for these rocks, you can just dodge through it like that. You won't take any damage. Or like I mentioned, you can get behind one of these pillars to stay safe. Right, another crystal phase coming out. Go ahead and start dotting those up. And we are about to get to 50% health right here. And once we get down to 50%, we're sitting at about 40 right now. So one more bar, we will be at half. And that's when the mechanics will slightly change. Jeez. Taking some DPS here. Anyways, once you get to half, that's going to add a new mechanic into the fight where he will kind of do this charging roar that explodes all of the pillars each cycle, so that it kind of counters the idea of just being able to sit up on a pillar the whole time, because he will explode all of them on you. So that's just the next thing we're looking out for here. We want to get a couple melee damage hits in here for free. We'll go take out those crystals. And as well as doing the roar where he destroys the pillars, it will also start the jump phase where he begins leaping around the arena, which is definitely the hardest part for people, I've noticed. That's where I think most of the deaths occur in this boss, is on that jump phase. So, still working on getting down on health. Once we get to that halfway mark, we will get ready for those new mechanics. But until then, we will just be up here dumping. Right at 50% here, so you're going to see him do this big roar that will erupt all of the pillars, and it also lets us get free damage. So when he does this, he's not attacking at all, so you just get to come in here, get on the backside, get those backstabs, and burst, burst, burst. So definitely the phase to maximize free damage there, and then after that, he will start jumping like that. So, you pay attention to see who has the mark on his head, like right there, and then you dodge like that. Just want to be mindful of your stam management. The reason you're going to die is if you stam yourself, and then you don't have a dodge to dodge like that. But if you are paying attention, it is very simple to just do a dodge right before he hits the ground, and you will be all good. So, we will get back up on our pillar here. I like the cannon because the cannon does good stamina damage to the boss, so if you're a ranged DPS, I definitely recommend running that cannon. And getting ready for that roar again, so if he does that, I will jump off this pillar immediately, because again, when he does that roar and explodes all the pillars, that will immediately kill you. We've got a stam break coming in right here. And as you can see, great DPS, hitting massive numbers right there, so super good damage. Go ahead and get out of there. And again, that's going to be the roar phase, all of our damage right here. Get a little bit of that mana back, but yeah, we got some massive DPS in that phase, which was super nice. I'm going to take out these crystals. Crescent Wave can be super good for taking out crystals because you can send those waves through and knock all of them down, which is nice. And getting ready for those jumps because we just finished that roar phase and the crystals are up, so that is what I am paying attention to right now, is just waiting for him to start bouncing around leaping, because like I said, that is what will kill you in this boss fight most likely. Being up top, as long as he's not targeting you, as you can see right here, doesn't touch me. So you don't have to dodge up top if it's not targeting you. So once again, don't have to do anything. For some reason, my pillar's not even getting touched. Would you look at that? So, if you are playing ranged, I recommend being up here for that jump phase because, again, it just keeps you safe where you don't even have to dodge unless you're getting targeted. In which case, if you did, you just roll like you normally would off the pillar and you'll be just fine. So, as of now, I'm just going to sit up here and dump all this ranged DPS down on this boss until he does that. And we'll go head on into some melees. Alright. Take care of these crystals out here. That was unfortunate. Boss is super low here, so just getting these last couple of hits in. Jump on me. We'll roll right out of that. And now we'll get some free DPS while he's jumping. The jump does go across the entire arena, so regardless of where it hits, you do have to dodge it. Otherwise, you will take the full DPS amount from it. But on this free damage phase, we'll definitely burst this out, finish the boss. So this has been Echidna. Hope you guys enjoyed this. Hope it explained everything for you. Makes a little bit more sense. And then you go ahead and grab your bag right here. Get some nice loot. Looks like we got some rings. Love to see that. Leeching Hardy Sacred. Oh, not terrible. And another Hoplite ring. Cool. So I will catch you guys at the second boss, Typhon, to break that one down for you as well. Peace. Alright, welcome to Typhon, the second boss fight in Gorgon. Similar to the first one, we'll kind of just run through it, and I will, as things go, try and do my best to explain everything in the moment so that it's able to make the most sense for you guys. So to start things off, what we will do is go behind the boss, do burst DPS behind the boss. You pay attention to see if you get spikes at the beginning. Spikes are this giant red circle that will go around you, which will cause thorny spikes to erupt from the ground that do insane amounts of damage. You'll get a red mark above your head and the red circle around you. You'll definitely see it throughout the fight. But at the start, right when you begin, that is the first thought in your head is, am I going to get spikes? Who has spikes? And making sure that you're playing around that and playing safe. After that, you're going to look at which region, whether it be right, middle, or left, that gets destroyed. It's going to get completely covered with those thorns. So those are kind of your two main first thoughts when you start this boss fight, is paying attention to those spikes and paying attention to which region of the map is going to get covered in the thorns. Other than that, you will just be DPSing until the add phase. When the add phase comes, we will prioritize the corvids. We'll be taking out the birds first, wolves second, and spiders at the end for everyone else. Sometimes I'll just pick off the spiders instantly to start it off because they can be very annoying to deal with and leave the whole time. But yeah, I think we're about to get started here, and again, I will run through all of this as it's happening, but figured I would just give a little synopsis to how we're going to start things off, just so we're on the same page going into here. So let's get cracking. Again, looking out for those spikes right at the beginning, as well as which region of the map is destroyed. Those are our two priorities. So right now I'm looking for those spikes. It doesn't look like he applied them instantly, which is nice. I'm gonna go in, get some melee DPS down. The key thing here is just ensuring that as a melee, oh, perfect timing. So those are the spikes. As you can see, you can kind of just run in a figure eight like this. You don't even have to dodge. Very easy to deal with those. So here is the add phase. Like I said, we're going to prio these corvids, so that is what you like to run vines for. It makes trapping the mobs significantly easier. Bursting them down is just way better because you have AoE CC that can hold everything in place. The corvids, especially with them flying all around and all of that, it is a difficult task to keep them on track if you don't CC them. So super nice to run vines for that. After the mob add phase, he'll go to the middle and mark someone. which is us, perfect timing, with eyes. What you want to do is get behind one of these pillars so that he dashes into it like that. If you don't get behind the pillar, he will just immediately kill you. You can't get revived, and you're instantly out of the fight. So super, super important. Every time ad phase finishes, pay attention to eyes. Finish that first phase, heading into the second room here. New mechanics in here, he'll kind of do an AoE ripple ground pound where he'll send out like wave, wave, wave. That's kind of the main thing for us, as well as a new melee flurry attack. So those are going to be the new mechanics in this room, but otherwise exact same concept. You're looking out for the reds, you're looking out which region of the map is going to get destroyed by thorns, you're paying attention to eyes, and you're getting ready for ad phase. So any second here, that ad phase is going to start right here with that roar, and we will focus those corvids again. So I am looking, and I find my corvid, instantly prop vines on it, and then I will kind of just start. Hopefully we don't get trapped here too much. We're just stuck in these vines. I couldn't see anything. I didn't know we were just trapped in there. But anyways, yeah, once ad phase starts, always a good idea to just kind of start surveying the area, figure out where that corvid's going to be, and take that out. So I am just pinned on the ground by this wolf, but burst in that. And we will let the boss come to the middle. He's going to do eyes. So once again, we're paying attention to see if that's on us. We are in the clear, so we're all good. And get that free burst damage off. So nice and easy DPS right there. And here's that new ground pound that I was telling you about. You can just roll into it like so. Super easy way to dodge it. People usually roll away from it, but that kind of works against you because the attack is moving outwards in a circular fashion. So if you dodge away, you're just going to end up dodging into it. So ad phase again, scanning, looking for corvids. Didn't see any instantly, so I will just go ahead and take out that spider. Why not? There's our corvid in mid. We can get our vines down right there, get our potion going, and start dropping damage. I really like the crescent wave for this boss fight, for this ad phase. I feel like you can definitely get a lot of DPS off in that clump when they're clumped up like that. So if your team's doing their job right and is dropping those vines, getting them grouped up, that crescent wave can do a lot of damage to all of the mobs at once. So super beneficial in my opinion to have that. And we have spikes again, so we will just run around. They will do 3 spikes every single time, no matter what, so just something to remember. And eyes, you can see 49's getting behind the pillar, so we'll get some free DPS right here. And we are phased into the final room, so heading into the final room, the changes that will occur is that on ad phase, we will focus the wolves first rather than the birds. So that is going to be the main change for that first ad phase, is not prioritizing corvids, but instead prioritizing the wolves. So he's going to transform into his new super badass black color. I think he looks pretty sick in this last room for sure. And we will see if we can knock out these last 3 health bars and defeat Typhon. Again, I had mentioned earlier how this room only has the 2 pillars compared to the other rooms, so definitely something to pay attention to. They're opposite of each other, so you don't want to get caught out of position and too far away from a pillar. So keep that in mind when things like eyes are occurring. So again, we're going to be prioing these wolves, getting our vines down, CCing everything, and just AoE clump damaging as much as we can. So I am just playing my life right here because I was super low right there, but get that wolf. If we don't get the corvids, we're not concerned about it. So the prio is always the wolves. So got both the wolves, fine with that. And now we are ready for eyes. So I am positioned right over here by the pillar in case I got it, but I am good. So it is going to be on Lil Yachty over there on that pillar. So now, again, once the first eye phase happens, there is only 1 pillar remaining. So super important to pay attention to that, so that now if you aren't able to burst the boss down before the next phase, that you pay attention that there's only 1 pillar that remains. So make sure that you are positioning correctly. We're just going to burst down the boss, so I'm going to use my vines just to get a little extra rend on the boss here so that our damage is just that little bit higher, but again, we're so close to finishing it that we'll just burst it out rather than doing the ads here. So that is Typhon defeated, taken down. You love to see it. Definitely can be a difficult boss fight, so don't give up if you guys are struggling with it. But I will catch you guys in the third and final boss fight to finish this raid up, so we'll see you there. Alright, welcome. We are at the final arena, the Broodmother's arena. So, that is where the Broodmother is right there. I didn't know that for the longest time. I thought she was like back there somewhere, but she jumps down from up there. We are at the final boss. This is the easiest boss out of all of them. It's actually like a cakewalk compared to the other ones. You almost just sit here and do damage. As a DPS, we'll be sticking to this wall, primarily just in between these two fountains is where you want to be. I'm typically on the fountain because I'm the one throwing cleanses from this one. But as a standard DPS, you literally just sit right here and unload on the boss. The other couple minor mechanics, these flowers will open up. They'll call them blooms, they'll call them flowers, whatever they call them. You'll just start shooting those to destroy those. They'll dump down poisonous gas, but as long as you're just sticking along the perimeter, you're totally fine. Don't go running into the middle because you can get poisoned, put to sleep, things like that. And to fix those poisons, if you do get that debuff on you, you have to cleanse yourself, and if you're asleep, you need somebody else to cleanse you. Other than that, it's kind of just standard stuff. There's mobs that will spawn, don't die to the mobs, and the boss will do a dash. So wait for the dash, dodge that. Other than that, it is literally just sitting here and basically shooting a giant loot pinata. So we are about to get started here. Again, I'm running the exact same build. The only adjustment you'll want to make, switch to a nature amulet. Get that extra nature protection because that's going to be the primary damage in this boss fight. So if you have one with nature, health, and a gem for nature, that's definitely going to be your best bet. So we'll let the tank grab aggro right here real second, one or two. Yeah, that should be good. And like I said, this is the easiest boss fight. I'm not exaggerating. You'll get to see it. We literally just sit here. Sorry, my dog is jumping on me, so I'm gonna give him some attention while we sit here. But we'll literally just be dumping DPS into this boss. It is super straightforward. Like I said, it doesn't really fit with the other boss fights. I feel like the other ones are pretty, mechanically intensive and whatnot, whereas this one, you basically just sit and shoot. So at least it's kind of a breath of fresh air at the end. You've got your hard part out of the way. You don't have to worry about something extremely difficult there at the end. As you can see there, somebody was trying to melee DPS. That's what happens if you try and melee DPS on this boss. You don't need to. There's no reason to. So just sit back, use your ranged DPS back here, and light it up. Anyways, here are the blooms. That's what I was mentioning earlier. Once those pop open, you're just going to want to sit there and unload on those in order to take them out so they reduce the amount of gas and poison that's being dumped. So as you can see, took those out super quickly, and back to dumping DPS on the boss. Already got about 25% of the health taken out, so like I said, pretty easy. We all just sit here with ranged weapons, and everyone's basically just got a bow or a musket, and you just sit here and light this thing up. So I will probably just throw on some music for you guys, make it a little more enjoyable to watch through this, and I will catch back with you once we're all done, going over the loot that we got, and just kind of reviewing the whole raid in general. But again, catch you at the end. Hope you enjoy, and we'll reconnect after.
Tsunami, wanna ride my wave. Got a lot of them that wanna ride my wave. All the haters wanna ride my wave. Too much to ride a tsunami. Go with the flow, I move like water. Go with the flow, I move like water. No chance to know me, but I do. Said no chance to know me, but I do. Too much to ride a tsunami. Chance to know me, but I do. Too much to ride a tsunami. Ride my wave, all the haters wanna ride my wave. All the haters doesn't know me, but I do. Too much to ride a tsunami. Pelican.
Alright, we are back. Got the boss at 10% on that last bar here. But as you can see, not much really changed. You really just sit here and unload with your bow or your musket or your fire staff, whatever you're using. It's super straightforward, super easy. So, as you saw, literally just sitting here dumping. Got it down to the last little bit of HP here, just a couple percent. For this boss fight, this is the one that gives the weapon from Gorgon. So if you are looking to get something specific, like you want just a bow and you want to guarantee that you get the bow, or you want to guarantee that you get the fire staff, you can die before the boss fight ends and unequip your other weapons so that you just have one weapon on, and that will allow you to guarantee that you get the weapon of choice that you would like. Otherwise, you can just roll it and see what you get from it. Looks like I got 2 bows and a great sword there, so totally cool with that. But yeah, this has been the Gorgon raid. We are complete. Got our weapons, got our armor, got our jewelry. And you also acquire your seals, your eyes, the tokens, as well as your Gorgonite inductor. So super good amount of loot that you get from this, especially if you're just starting out and you're looking for some new gear. Like, look, I could run this bow, no problem. Great bow. I could run that with my new hoplite pants. You know, you can change your perk to adjust it to your kit, but you definitely get some really good gear to start making a very, very strong kit from Gorgon. So, I hope you guys enjoyed. This has been Bow King. This was the Gorgon tutorial for all of the boss fights. If there's any questions, feel free to drop them in the comments. Make sure to answer them. And I will catch you guys in the next one. Let me know if there's anything in particular people would like help with, explanations on, breakdown, whatever. But this has been Bow King, and I'm out. Peace.